Welcome to Project One. Building a strong community takes each one of us, and Project One is the place to start. 1 hour, one person, one life changed. On today's show, we'll feature an organization that is changing lives and transforming our community. So get ready to be inspired. Here's the host of Project One, Jan Johnson.
Well, we want to welcome you today to Project One, and we're so glad that you join us every Saturday here on this station. And we want to connect you with organizations that are making a difference in the lives of not only individuals in San Antonio, but with the organization that we're talking with today, it is around the world. And we're just so thrilled to have in studio an organization by the name of Military Athletics. And I am so privileged to talk to Juan Okay, you're going to have to say this for me.
Adriatico.
Yep. Okay, that's easy for you to say. So, okay, Adriatico. And he is with Military Athletics. And I had the privilege of talking with him just a little bit before we went on the air. And you don't want to go anywhere. This is an amazing conversation about how we are bridging athletics with the military and also spreading the gospel. So welcome, Juan. We're so glad that you're here. You have an infectious smile, and we're going to put some pictures on our website for everybody to be able to see you. But thank you for joining us and being here with us today.
Thank you so much. It's a pleasure and it's an honor.
Awesome. So talk to me about what military athletics is.
Well, military athletics is a vision. It's a vision that what it does is it gives hope to people and empowers people, it powers veterans. It does so much for the community. What we do is you pretty much take athletics and we take honoring our military, our service members, and we give back to communities. We give back to youth, and we honor those who've paid the ultimate sacrifice and their families. So when I started this about a year and a half ago.
This was your heart and your passion,
This
right?
was, yes, ma'am.
So tell us how that got birthed in your heart.
Well, honestly, I was serving out in Japan.
So you have served in the military.
Yes, I have.
Okay.
I served for 11 years, served 2 combat tours in Iraq.
Thank you for your service.
Oh, yeah, my pleasure. So it's been a blessing. It's been a lot of ups and downs, but over the course of time, I wanted to create an alternative for my sailors, Marines, and soldiers, something that was an outlet other than going out to the bars and drinking and so forth. So my passion's always been athletics, has always been outdoors, has always been baseball. So I created a program, a baseball team, Salem baseball team out in Japan with a couple baseballs and a couple old gloves I had from college when I played college baseball, and
just on the base that you
just on the base.
Wow.
And it's had very little resources, if any, at all. And but we did have a baseball field, and I started with 5 sailors, and then the next night we had 10 on a Saturday night, and then the following weekend we had 20, and then we had 30. And I said, you know what? Let's go play some baseball. So I went out.
Take me out to the ball.
Pretty much.
Okay.
I went out and I lined up a schedule with a local professional coach named Tetsu Yofu. He played AAA for the Chicago White Sox, and he was living in Japan just an hour away from the base. And I connected with him, and he was a very big asset and a friend of mine who created a baseball schedule for us so that our USA players could play against local amateur and professional baseball teams like the Fukushima Hopes.
In Japan?
In Japan.
Oh, my gosh.
And we played our first game on base, and it brought media attention from the Tokyo Times, and we had over 3,000 fans within a month and a half.
Wow.
And we actually tied the local Japan team. So it's the USA team versus Japan. And since then, God has really grown our program to more than just baseball.
Really?
Now we're located internationally. We're located in Spain, Italy, and now back in the U.S.
Incredible.
And we actually do over 20 sports.
So talk to us about that. So how did it evolve from baseball just being played in Japan to now Italy and Spain and here in the United States with other sports? Talk to us a little bit about that.
Well, I have an awesome staff. So first of all, I have to give it credit to my staff. My staff is sometimes smarter than I am, and that's okay. And I like that.
Shows a good leader, though.
Yeah, well, there's an old saying, if you're not that smart, get a lot of smart people around you.
That's a good one.
And that's how you move the vision, right?
Sure.
So ultimately, it's about the vision. And the vision is building lives building people's dreams one life at a time. And we do that through athletics. We give people hope through athletics. But use as a vehicle. Athletics is a vehicle, and honoring our service members is the purpose of why we do it, and giving back to communities, not just veterans who are possibly trying to find jobs or trying to find employment or trying to volunteer and trying to give back, but also trying to help youth. Because the youth, a lot of times, military members have kids, and they forget about these kids, and they forget about these spouses.
Right,
so with every military installation, there may be one service member, and there may be like 2, 3 dependents, people who are like a wife and two or three kids who are overseas, and they kind of get neglected. And they're left at home, and dad goes out to sea, mom goes out to sea for 9 to 12 months, and they're gone. And they're absent. So that's where we come in, and we kind of rally around these kids, and we help encourage them. We created a baseball team, youth baseball team programs. We're creating youth programs for all our sports. So we also help out with kids in a hospital. Kids are suffering from possibly like leukemia and cancer. We take them on youth hunts. We have an airsoft program. We have ranches in Florida. Central Florida and DeLand, Florida. We have ranches in Rock Springs, Texas, where we take them out on youth hunts. We take
and you just had one of those, correct?
We did. We had over 250 airsofters. So you have a lot of guys who are old Vietnam vets who
my
actually served in Vietnam, and they're out there with these 15, 16-year-old kids
who are used to playing video games.
Yeah.
And, they have no idea what they're up against.
And I'll tell you what. Some of these old Vietnam vets are actually kind of still living in Vietnam in their heads, but they love it because now they're actually teaching a younger generation. They actually lived it. They were there in Vietnam, but they're actually able to get back to these kids, and it's just like it's bridging the community generation after generation. And
now, from what you had mentioned, that this airsoft event that you had, there were civilians as well as military people involved.
So there were civilians in that staff as well. So we don't want to just help people who are just military, but we want to help empower people in bridge communities everywhere. So we also help small businesses. We help people, like my staff here is half civilians and half military. We've grown from 1 office to 3 offices in a month and a half. We went from 2 staff members to 12 staff members. We went from 1 sport to now over 20 sports, anywhere from soccer to golf to bowling. We do events. That's where we pull in a lot of our revenue and our support and our fundraising in order to support our youth programs. To support our vision is to build a athletic facility here in San Antonio.
Oh, that'd be fantastic.
Because that's what we want. We get back to youth, because if we're empowering youth, we want to empower veterans. The veterans that are coming off active duty, they don't. Where does the infantry, airborne?
Gives them purpose.
Right. They have a hard time finding a job because they've been solely committed to serving their country for 8 to 10 years. And then when they come back in the civilian sector, they've lost all their connections and network.
Right.
They've been separated from their families. So now they're having to start all over from ground zero at 28, 35 years old. And they got 2 or 3 kids to support. And that's kind of hard. So what we do is we try to create a program. We also have a student loan repayment program for students coming out of college. We try to recruit some very good interns and talent so that we have up to $100,000 student loan repayment program.
Wow.
And that we award them as being a part of our team when they bring in a certain amount of donation sponsorships, because it helps empower them to let them know that we believe in them and their talent and their gifts.
Well, I want to make sure that we cover that when we come back from our break, but I just want to remind everybody that I'm here talking with Juan Dratico.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I got it right. And he is with Military Athletics, and we will have all of the information on this station's website by clicking on the tab Project One, and you'll see all of the contact information, how to get in touch with them, their phone number. Their website is www.militaryathletics.org, but we will have all of that on our website, so that way you know how to get involved. There are some fantastic pictures that you can see there. You'll see Juan on there with his great big amazing smile, and just shows how passionate he is about what he is doing. But before we go to the break, I would like to just hear a story from you about how military athletics has impacted someone.
So,
do I need my tissues?
Yes. Well, I'll tell you a story. So there was a sailor. He was actually older gentleman. He's enlisted, and he actually came into our team probably about over a year and a half ago. He continues to play with us. He played college baseball, something he always loved. And when he came into the military, A lot of times the military will either, you lose a lot in military. You may lose your kids, you may lose your family, you may lose your marriage. And that's part of the grind. That's the everyday grind for a service member. There's over 85% divorce rate in the military. That's the reality.
That's tragic.
That's the reality.
But it is
That's the
reality.
cost
Yeah.
of freedom.
Yeah.
So here he is. He's 37 years old. And he comes up to the ball field. And you can see him light up like a little kid.
Really?
And he tries out. And I said, welcome to the team. And he played college baseball about 10, 15 years ago.
But I'm
And
sure
he's
it was just
37-year-old
very fresh to him.
man.
Yeah.
He just went through a divorce. He's over in Japan. He's by himself. He's away from he's separated from his son. And he just starts bawling up in tears.
Oh.
And he says, thanks for giving me a second chance. And because this is the only thing I really loved in life,
Really?
Because a lot of
The game of baseball.
A lot of athletes, what do you do after high school and college?
Yeah.
You go work insurance, or nothing wrong with insurance.
Yeah,
nothing
you work
wrong.
a job.
You go work a job, and it's not what you love since you're a child.
Yeah.
We always go back to what you love when you're a little kid. I say, go back to what you love when you did when you're a little kid. What's your passion? Follow your passion, and you'll be successful. Follow your passion. Follow God. You'll be successful.
And that is such a life lesson to have for in any situation. And I want to hear, when we come back from break, what ended up happening with this gentleman. But again, if you are intrigued by hearing Juan talk, and we're going to talk a little bit more when we come back from the break about how you can get involved with the military athletics, then we encourage you to come back after the break. But if you would like to meet Juan, we are going to have him at our mixer, and here coming up we're going to have a spot that we're going to play that'll give you all the information about how you can get involved and come to our mixer, where we're going to have all these amazing organizations that we have featured here on Project One, where you can meet them, shake their hand, tell them thank you, or say, how can I get involved, how can I help you? So Juan will be at that event with some of his staff, so don't go anywhere. We will be right back and continue to hear the story and find out how you can get involved. So we'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. Hi, this is Jan Johnson, host of Project One, where weekly we connect you with a nonprofit organization that is making a difference in the lives of those who just need a little extra support or encouragement. Project One is to connect one person, 1 hour, and one life is changed through volunteering and mentoring opportunities offered by these amazing organizations. We want to invite you to come and meet them at our Project One Mixer on Wednesday, July the 26th from 4 to 6 p.m. at the Documation headquarters off of Loop 1604 and Lock Hill, Selma. To RSVP, please go to this station's website and click on the tab Project One to RSVP today. Come and meet with 12 organizations that are needing someone just like you, or maybe a family or even a business. To find out how you can get involved with these organizations, come out and meet with them. So go to the station's website, click on the tab Project One, and RSVP your spot today. And bring a friend or bring your family, or bring even maybe some of your coworkers, and we'll see you on July 26th at 4 p.m. at Documation. 1 hour, one person, one life changed. Will that be you? Well, we welcome you back to Project One, and I hope that you will sign up to come to our mixer that is just around the corner on July the 26th. And come and meet Juan. Again, I am talking with Juan with Military Athletics, and right before we went to the break, you were telling us about this gentleman that realized the love of sports and baseball gave him some purpose. Continue to tell us the story.
Yeah, so it was kind of interesting. It kind of took me back, because here's a 37-year-old man. He's crying. And he says, thanks for giving me a second chance. And he says, you don't know what you have until you lose it. There's a scripture in Matthew 6:21 says, for where your treasure is, there your heart will be also. Yeah. And when Jesus talks about that, he said, what it really means is follow your heart, follow your passion. Yeah. Because it's not what at the beginning of your life or the end of your life that really matters. It's that dash in between. And that man was able to take not only that, play for us and compete at a professional level, which he had never competed before.
Wow.
Now at 37 years old on a professional platform. But he was able to take under another one of our players who's, I say, 17 years old.
Wow.
And he's mentoring, coaching, and teaching him how to pitch. And he's a pitcher, so they're both pitchers. So he's mentoring and coaching him. And that 17-year-old kid, his father is actually out to sea for 9 to 10 months a year on one of our destroyers.
Wow.
So now that same young man at 17 years old actually is in South Carolina right now, and he just had his first tryout. He had 3 tryouts with 3 Division II NCAA college programs, and that's what we're about, giving back and helping enable and empower that young man who had never been seen, never had an offer letter.
Right.
Now he's actually just possibly has gotten one offer already to go play college baseball to fulfill his dream.
Wow.
So now that guy who fulfilled his dreams probably over 15 years ago playing college ball was given a second chance, and now he's just paying it forward down to someone else who his dream is to go play college ball where he's already been. So that's how
he took a passion and turned it into purpose.
That's it.
Wow, that's incredible. So when we were talking before we went on the air, you were talking about the 4 pillars that are part of the military athletics, and it's fascinating. And I'd love for you to share that with our listeners, and then talk to us about how our listeners can get involved with military athletics.
Okay, well, we are launching our late fall in 2018 Fallen Soldier Tours, where our military baseball team will compete against minor league and possibly major league teams in 2018. We also have bass fishing tournaments. We have 3-on-3 basketball tournaments in preparation to the 2020 Olympics. Like I said before, we're located in 3 or 4 different countries. We compete against a Virgin Island national team this winter. We go to the Virgin Islands, and we're meeting the governor and the 4 senators. So they're actually preparing for our team to fly in, and we're flying in from all around the East Coast, the West Coast, and all around the world to go and compete against our national team.
So the teams aren't located, or the members aren't all in San Antonio. They're coming from around the world.
So we have about 20 players, Division I, Division II players are on staff, plus we have another 20 or 30 that come in and out because they're active duty. They're in Iraq, they're in Afghanistan, they're in Europe, they're in Germany, they're in Marine, they're Air Force, they're Navy. It's an all-forces team where we go in and we play against pro teams. And we honor our fallen heroes. We do it through all our athletic events, whether it's airsoft, whether it's soccer, whether it's these events go to raise funds to give back to youth and empower veterans. So we have a 4-pillar mission. We honor our fallen heroes and their family members. We raise an awareness for the 22 veterans a day that commit suicide. And if we're creating a program that would empower them, to give them purpose. And if you give someone purpose and hope, that gives them life. Our 3rd is empowering youth. And 4th is building up communities everywhere we go, helping out small businesses. And that's where our sponsorship packet comes in, is where we have a program where businesses, we are tax write-off, we are tax exempt, so they're able to donate a check and have a check donation in front of everyone to honor them for donating. We also have a fallen wall of honor on our website. Whoever donates over $25 will be put on a wall of honor and giving back to these programs that we want to incorporate in wherever we're at, whether it's overseas or in the U.S., but we also like to build orphanages overseas as well.
Sure.
So, like I said, I'm actually half Latino, and my grandfather's from the Philippines, and my grandmother's from Poland. So that's a lot of diversity there. So
you're multicultural.
I am. So my mom's from Guatemala. So my passion is working in overseas, working in Iraq, working in third world countries. You see a lot of what people don't have. So what we like to do is like to build orphanages. Just give back to communities, do an athletic program, teach them how to read, teach them how to write English, and we also like to recruit them into the armed forces.
Sure.
So not only that we're helping them leave the third world country,
but to get involved,
but to come and join our country, but do it through the armed forces and do it the right way, not illegally, but do it the right way.
Correct.
And that's what we want. We want to give back in those ways, and sponsors and donors can help give back through our website. They can give back through volunteering. We have internship packets. We have a venting process.
About that.
Yeah.
And I know we can get all of that information by going to the station's website and click on the tab Project One, and you will be directly linked to military athletics. But talk to us about, if someone here locally is listening, or maybe they're listening to the podcast, and our podcasts go around the world. So if somebody is listening and said, how can I get involved? What is it that I can do to help? Maybe I've got an experience in a certain area. How can volunteers get involved?
And that's great. That's a great question. Number one, email. Just email us at info at militaryathletics.org.
Okay.
We will respond with your email. We will try to send us who you are, what your passion is, how would you like to get involved, and then we can better direct you to which department, because we have a bowling department. We're looking for directors to run events. We're looking for marketers. We're looking for donor representatives. We're looking for interns who would like to build this into a career for themselves. Their passion is they love the military, they love athletics, and they love helping people. Well, that's what we're about.
Which that's perfect for college students who are maybe
or
playing
for grown
a sport.
adults.
Yes.
I mean,
yes.
for all of us. I mean, it's just something we love. It's our passion. We probably work over 80, 90 hours a week, and we don't get fatigued. We get a little tired, but when it's your passion,
Yeah.
you just forget to eat. And sometimes you forget to sleep because you just love it. And that's what we're about. Finding people that are passionate about what they do and follow your passion.
Sure. And so if we did have an individual that was here in San Antonio that says, you know what, Juan, I've got something that I can contribute. Mm-hmm. Of course, I know you're always looking for donations for your organization as being a nonprofit. But when you think of Project One, we are one person, 1 hour, one life changed. You are definitely making a difference in the lives of not only active military, but retired and fallen heroes, the youth, and also different businesses in the community. You are making a difference. And as you said, you are wanting to make a difference in a life. So someone wants to come alongside you. What is your greatest desire? What is your biggest need?
Our biggest need is personnel. Our biggest need, honestly, is financials.
Because you're growing.
We're growing so fast, and a couple of my staff members and myself have been pouring all our resources and our savings and personal assets into this to build it. Like I said, we started off with a couple of baseball gloves, and so we just figured, you know what, we're going to pour everything into it just because we believe in it.
Yeah.
And whether we win or we don't care, because we believe in what we're doing for people, and we've seen the lives that have been changed. So you can't deny the outcomes. You can't deny what's going on. You can't deny baseball games. You're attracting fans of 3,000. You can't.
Right.
We had 250 airsofters in Orlando, Florida today. This past Sunday, that showed up, and we're helping, and we're helping people get mentorship. We can use everything and anything. You just, if you're willing to serve, and the scripture says in Proverbs 16, verse 3, commit your ways unto the Lord, and your thoughts will be established.
That's a great scripture.
So that's what we've committed from day one. I got on my hands and knees and said, Lord, you know, I've owned multiple companies before. I said, I can't afford to fail again. I said, but you know what? He told me, you're going to be blessed. And we're not worried about the money. The money, we love donations. We love financial support, which we need it.
Absolutely.
It's a necessity.
Right.
Bottom line, we need the support. But we really want quality people.
Sure.
People really just want to serve, and people they have a heart of service. That's what servant leadership is what we're about.
And especially if someone has a specific talent that they have or a skill set.
Exactly.
Just email you and say,
Yes.
look, this is who I am. I don't know how I can help. This is my experience. This is what my heart and passion is.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure you'll be able to connect them to the right person or right department. It's just incredible to hear how God gave you an idea and took a seed, and he is just growing it. And it is literally touching worldwide.
Mm-hmm.
Just through something as simple as you said, a couple of baseballs and a couple gloves and a baseball bat. And look where God has taken that. And that, honestly, I believe, Juan, is because you were willing. And you said, Lord, here am I. Use me. And you're really being the hands and feet of Christ to not only those that are serving our country to keep us safe and protect our freedom, but you are also sharing the freedom of life with Christ. And I just honor you, and I thank you. I thank you for your service, for what you've done to for our country, but also to the servicemen that are active duty and those that are going through some tough times. And I honor you, and I thank you from the bottom of my heart, and also from our listeners. Thank you for what you're doing and continue to do through not only the service but military athletics. And again, I would be honored for you to come and meet Juan and come and see him at our mixer that's coming up on July the 26th. And for more information on how you can register, go to this station's website and click on the tab Project One. So we've got about 10 seconds left. What's one word you would like, or one little statement you'd like to give to our listeners to leave today?
Hope. That's what we want to give people's hope.
Well, on that, we want to say thank you for joining us today on Project One. Be blessed today and have hope.